Hi, my name is Langston Myers. When I found out I was introducing Maddie Jenks, I was so excited. I'm not sure if she felt the same way. Within a week of finding out I was her introducer, Maddie sent me a very long text explaining that her grandparents were coming to the speech and I must write my intro accordingly. I don't know if she was afraid I would tell the story of the time we went to the beach together, and one night after I had slept in a makeshift twin bed in a literal closet for 4 days, I finally asked if I could share the master bedroom with her, to which she said no and dragged me out of the bed. She could have also been worried I would expose her for the countless times she says I'm about to cry in really sad or dramatic situations, and proceeds to make some weird cry-like sound and contort her face without ever releasing a tear. Yes, Maddie is clearly quirky, which is one of my favorite things about her, but she is also incredibly driven, creative, passionate, and one of my good friends. Maddie is someone who lives her life with true integrity, which impresses me every day. I'm sure she has something wise beyond her years to say, so without further delay, I give you Mad Hatter, Maddie Gaskar, the girl on fire, one true family gal, Madison Elizabeth Jenks.
I am and always have been an extreme person. When I like something, I am super happy and so excited that it's honestly annoying. When something bothers me, I get furious and rant about the ridiculousness of anything and everything. And while I'm able to admit my dramatic nature, in the moment, my extremeness always feels completely reasonable and justified. It is because of this nature that I have been known to overreact. By the way, there is nothing in this world more irritating for an extreme person like me than when someone tells me I'm overreacting. A few years ago, I came home to find that my parents had completed all Christmas decorating without me. My favorite family tradition, marking the beginning of the season of joy and cheer without me. What really got me was the fact that they had strung the tree with tacky LED colored lights. They hadn't even strung the lights well. The green strands were hanging off in clumps, weighing down the branches. I'm sure you could tell I reacted in a somewhat irrational way. I proceeded to pull the lights off the tree while my family was eating dinner. But at the time, I figured I was doing them a favor. I was going to redo the entire tree and they didn't have to do any of the work. I eventually toughened up and apologized for my childish behavior, but I still struggled to understand what was the proper way to react to the things that I found extremely important. In other words, that was not my last overreaction. The summer before freshman year, I was at my annual family reunion, playing a friendly game of ping pong against my mom. We were outside in the dying heat and sweat beads were everywhere. I really wanted to win so I could prove my superior athletic skills. So, you can imagine my disappointment when she beat me in less than 5 minutes. But I was polite and didn't say anything I would regret. However, as I watched her play the next game while millions of sweat bees swarmed me, my sour mood took over. As one of the bees landed on the table, my irritation finally manifested itself, because I impulsively slammed my water glass down with excessive force to catch the bee, only to have it shatter in my hand, requiring 12 stitches. It is at this point that I would love to say that I learned my lesson, that all the adults in my life who had been telling me that I was overreacting had finally been heard. At some extent, this was true. I think that was the moment that I finally realized that I had a problem gauging when something warrants such an intense reaction. And thankfully, nothing like that has happened since. However, there is a difference in being able to recognize a flaw and being able to overcome it. I've always attributed too much weight to the little things that affect me. Whether it is a snarky comment or losing a wee tennis game, I always think it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. And so I overreact, showing everyone exactly how much I really care about anything and everything. And while I can stand up here and admit this as one of my flaws, I still fail to recognize that this is what I'm doing until it is too late. Which makes sense when you think about it, because why would I act so emotionally, humiliating myself if I realized how crazy I am being? But even if there is some truth in that, there is also some truth in saying, I haven't tried very hard to change. Maybe these things would be frustrating to anyone, but most people would be able to get over it. From the outside, I bet I seem like a pretty selfish person, caring so much about the insignificant things when there are more important issues worthy of our passion. I'll admit my extreme nature of having such outbursts and my delay in changing it probably does come from some self-involved tendencies. More than the selfishness, though, I think it has been my fear of admitting my flaw that has stopped me from changing for so long. But I am ready to change. And while I still live in the extreme, I am slowly working to reattribute the proper weight to things. Thank you.